6th graders, you're so lucky. It's their first.
It's our first one.
You're
For
going to see
2018.
videos. Yeah, it is the first one for
2018.
You might watch a different video, and it's not 2018.
No.
Because we have different videos from different years.
My hair's different.
I know, mine too. But mine kind of stays the same. But you might notice that you'll see Mr. Haynes in some videos.
Yep.
That's weird. But here's the thing. That's because math really stays the same. So it doesn't matter which video we use.
No.
We can watch a video to learn the math the same way as kind of when we're in class and we're teaching it. So, you know, when you look at the notes, first thing we do is we look at the title and we say, okay, we are talking about how do you make a fraction as a remainder when dividing. Okay, so since we're talking about fractions, Ms. Graubberger, what vocabulary words come to mind when you're doing fractions?
Numerator, denominator, improper fractions, mixed numbers, simplifying. Division actually comes in my mind too.
Come to mind too.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so let's just review, because I know we've been doing fractions since 3rd grade.
Yep.
Okay, so in a fraction, what is a numerator?
Well, the numerator is the part of the whole. It is the top number.
So I'm going to start there. And remember, if I'm writing up here on the screen, boys and girls, you are writing at home.
Yes.
Okay. Miss Graubberger, is that little thing going to be in our way?
I don't know.
But now we moved it out.
But it's just on our screen, on our faces, so it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So the numerator is the top
number in a fraction.
Number in a fraction. Over here. In a fraction, and it tells what?
It represents the part of the whole.
It represents the part of the whole. Okay, the part, of the whole. It's way faster to say it than to
It is, when you have to start writing it out.
Okay. So then the denominator then would be the whole. It's the whole.
It's the bottom number.
It's the bottom number, and I'm going to put a period, and I'm going to say
it's the whole.
Is the whole. Now, yesterday, when we divided whole numbers, we had remainders, those R's. And I know in my class we talked about how mathematically an R means absolutely nothing. So what we're focusing on today, and a lot of you knew this yesterday, was that we want to turn remainders into fractions, because then the next lesson is how we turn a remainder into a decimal. So we have to kind of go both ways, okay? So over here, they show us an example problem. And I know you can't see that, but on your paper you see that says A5. So they divided, 5 went into 12 2 times. 2 times 5 was 10. Divide, multiply, subtract. 2's less than 5, check. Bring down the 3.
Yep.
5 went into 23 4 times. Multiply, we got 20. Subtract, we got 3.
Right.
Now, yesterday, you guys put, 24 with a remainder of 3.
Right.
Some of you do capital R's, but that means nothing mathematically. So today, we're going to learn that you turn the 3 that's left over into a fraction. So, what number becomes the numerator of your fraction?
Well, the remainder becomes the numerator of your fraction.
And you can see right here, and I'll show you here in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. See this 3 right here? That became the top of my fraction, because my fraction is 24 3/5.
And Mrs. Clark, sometimes I even still draw that arrow to show me that I need to take that up there.
Yep.
So that I'm putting it in the right place.
Well, we understand where we got the numerator,
right.
3/5, but where does the fifths come from?
Well, that comes from your divisor, the number you are dividing by.
You know, that kind of makes sense, because if we said, remember yesterday, we said that division was splitting numbers up into groups. Right? So if I have 24 groups, but I have these 3 left,
that's right,
then I would have 3/5 of the next group. Right? Because 5 was what I was separating them into, right?
And so remember that remainder is like a leftover.
Yeah.
So you will have a leftover.
You do. You have 3 left.
3/5
left. If you had 2 more fifths, I could make another
whole.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of how we do that. So we're going to scroll down here. Oops. Miss Clark has something written. Pretend you guys didn't see that. Let's just erase.
Sneak peek.
The magic. Okay. Let's let's do one or two together, shall we?
Yep,
okay.
Sounds good.
And remember, if you don't have enough room right here, you can always get work paper or use the back. So I'm going to do 245 divided by 8. And my writing needs some practice. So 8 goes into 24 three times. 3 times 8 is 24. I get nothing left over, so I bring down the 5. 8 goes into 5 0 times.
Yes.
That's always tricky sometimes.
Like we're not done.
We're not done.
You still have to see how many times 5 goes into 8, and it's 0 times.
Right, 8 goes into
8
5.
to 5, sorry, 8 to 5.
8 to 5 is 0 times. Right. Then 0 times 8 is 0, and you have to finish that problem.
That is correct.
And you have 5 left. Well, that means that I could have, if I had 245 pieces of candy, and I were dividing them amongst 8 friends, every friend would get 30 pieces of candy, and I would have 5 eighths left.
That's right, because that remainder becomes your numerator, and then the denominator is the same thing as your divisor.
Because it's the whole.
Because it's the whole. It's what we were dividing.
Yep. All right, so let's take a look at this one. I'm going to try to write it over here so I have a little more space and it looks a little neater. Okay, 487 divided by 32.
Ooh,
now
we get a 2-digit divisor.
We do. And you know, I was talking to my class that if you can't do the multiplication and subtraction.
Yeah, like the same wavelength.
I know, because you know what? Because it's math.
Yes.
And it works all the time. So if you can't do 32, if you have to go 32 times 2.
I said the same
thing.
thing.
64.
It is okay.
It is okay.
You know, Mrs. Clark, I told my students that I would rather them go over there and do that and get the question right than try to guess at it.
Yes, me too. So this is a 1 then, because I obviously
we
2
knew
is
that.
too much, right? So I'm going to do 32. Now there's no regrouping when you go to subtract here, but we also talked about if you have to write it over here so you can regroup and subtract correctly.
That's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. This one's easy because there's no regrouping. 8 minus 2 and 4 minus 3.
Right.
Check, it's less than 32, so I'm going to bring down the 7.
Ooh,
now,
that might not be one I know.
So I tried 2. I'm just going to try 4.
Okay.
Just because if I double this, it makes me think that maybe, oops, I just said I'm going to try 4, and guess what I just did? I wrote 2. So that's why we use pencil too.
Yes.
And that's why we have
so we
work
can
paper.
erase our
Yep.
and redo
That's
it.
8. Oh, that's 128. I think it can go
I think
more.
it can go more too.
Yeah, I do too. So I guess I'm going to try 5.
Yes. And I love how you're going out and just trying a couple. It's totally okay.
10, 15. Oh,
that's
pretty
it.
close. That
Money
has
right
to be
there.
it, right? So I already know. The beautiful thing is I already know it's 160.
So we don't have to do more work.
Nope. No regrouping. I get 7 left. Remember, this gives me 15 holes. I have 7 left over 32.
Right.
Right?
Yes. And Mrs. Clark, I think it's important to point out that we also, when we get to these fractions and we've made them, we want to check to see if we can simplify them before we're actually done.
And I didn't even talk about that, but you know what? Hey, to all of you watching. So on your next quiz, it says turn the remainder into a fraction and
simplify.
Now, I can't simplify this.
No.
7 is a prime number.
That's
it doesn't
correct.
go into 32.
Right. And neither was 5/8.
Because 5's
That's right.
But
maybe we should jump down and do number 5.
Oh, I'm actually.
You want to do that one?
I want them to
see that. Maybe let them know that they might want to. Let's put a star by it. Yeah.
See if you can simplify that one.
Yes. So that they make sure
so
not to
that
forget.
you make sure not to forget.
Yep.
That is an excellent idea.
Yep.
Excellent. But you're going to have to simplify. I'm really glad you said that.
Yes.
Okay. What we want you to do then is we want you to finish 3, 4, 5, and then 6 has you making your own. And then please don't forget the summary. And all the summary does is, whoops, I'm going all up. Miss Grauberger has to help me. My technical difficulty. All we have to do is in the summary answer. Miss Grauberger, go ahead. Answer that question that's highlighted, okay? So this will be your first video of 6th grade that you're watching. And, you know, we always tell our class that sometimes, you know, you watch a video in class. Sometimes you might watch a video for homework. But the thing is we never expect the video to replace us.
No, absolutely not.
Because we could be at Starbucks if we could just show videos all the time, right?
It's just getting our brains thinking.
It gets our brains thinking. Okay? All right. Happy math. See you guys. Bye.